Mixing with Mike plugin of the week comes from Tone Projects. It's the Unisum mastering plugin. This is the audio examples video. So in this video, you will get audio examples demonstrating some of the features that are described in the features video. The features video will go through each of the different knobs and settings and explain them in detail, how they affect each other and how it allows you to control the overall sound. The rest of it is just audio, so let's get right to it. All right, so let's check this out.
Well, I've been thinking, I've been drinking, 'cause I can't afford to love you. I'd be better off all by myself. No need to worry or hurry. I'll be there when I get there. And time has no meaning to me. Lay me down in a sweet embrace.
So here, what you see is I got the, we're nowhere near the gain reduction limit. You can see here there's the true gain reduction reading. Got a little disconnect between the two. No bias between the two sides. I just want to show you what the differences are here. I'll show it on VU, and you just see how the characteristics change a little bit on the meter. So you can see how much more responsive that is just overall in terms of the settings. So let's just kind of go through some of the things here. So let's just say I feel that, maybe I want to go, I have a 1 millisecond attack time here, and I feel it's kind of biting down a little bit on it. So I can relax that, right?
I've been drinking, 'cause I can't afford to love you. I'd be better off all by myself.
So you could hear how that kind of takes away a little bit of the grab of what's going on. Just kind of opens it up a little bit, which is kind of nice. Also, I want to show you like the differences here between the release curve characteristics. And again, if it's like here where you would hear that, if you wanted to rewind the video a little bit, would be in the attack in particular of the cross stick that is there, and you can really kind of hear it in there, how it just sort of allows it to kind of open up a little bit. All right, so let's go here to the release curve, and I'll show you the difference between linear and logarithmic.
I've been drinking, 'cause I can't afford to love you. I'd be better off all by myself. No need to worry or hurry. I'll be there when...
So with the logarithmic curve, it sounds a little bit more open to me. I think what it sounds like what's happening is the release instead of sort of being this linear shape, sort of dives a little bit faster initially, and so it kind of has like a bit more of an open sound there. Okay, so that's number one. I just want to go over to the HYGGE, just so you can hear that characteristic.
I've been drinking, 'cause I can't afford to love you. I'd be better off all by myself. No need to worry or hurry. I'll be there when I get there. And time has no meaning to me. Lay me down.
So you could hear like the just like brings in like a little bit of solidity or warmth to everything. And so again, this is not an analog emulation or anything, although it is emulating those harmonic characteristics that bring in warmth. Now, there's one other thing here that I want to kind of go over because I have the you'll notice that the gain reduction is not identical on both sides. So I just want to show you what that is together and completely disconnected. And then I want to show you the RMS peak bias here. Just notice the difference in the openness. One other cool shortcut thing here is if you alt-click on it, it will go back and forth between the two settings that you just had, which is very cool. Right?
I've been drinking, 'cause I can't afford to love you. I'd be.
So you get like a nice like openness with this in the unlinked setting. So we keep the parameters linked so they're identical, but the gain reduction will be completely independent. And of course you get that variability all the way in between. But I really like the openness there. Now I just want to show how you can also adjust. Anytime you're out of the fully linked mode, you get this control here, which is really powerful. It's an RMS peak bias. So what we can do is we can lean the compression to be more responsive to RMS energy or more responsive to peak energy. So this is like an overall kind of what are you responding to most kind of thing. There we go.
I've been drinking, 'cause I can't afford to love you. I'd be better off all by myself. No need to worry or hurry. I'll be there when I get there. And time has no meaning.
So you can hear when I'm going back and forth here, how when I go to the leaning towards the RMS energy, how the hold with the gain reduction is more, and it has a warming effect to everything. And then when I go to the peak energy driving it, you can hear it can kind of open up the sound or something. This is so powerful because in so many mastering jobs that I do, one of the nuts that you have to crack when you're kind of looking at something is sometimes the music needs to just kind of relax or open up a little bit, or you're trying to breathe a little bit of life into it. Maybe it's been over compressed, or there's some other aspect of it that you're trying to draw out. And sometimes you get something that, especially for a lot of in the box kind of mixes, you'll get this aspect where there's a coldness a lack of warmth, a lack of body. And so these subtle characteristics here, as they start to pile up, whether you're using the HYGGE, leaning the bias more towards the RMS energy, going through, different knee, relaxing, this changing the release curve characteristics. You see how that you have all of this incredible tools just with this, without even getting to the multiband detector section and attack modifications, how it can shape the sound characteristics, how you can really draw out certain aspects and kind of bring everything to life. So the whole purpose of this here is it really meant to be very transparent, and you can kind of hear that it's not changing totally the character, it's just kind of solidifying things or opening up things, opening up the space, an incredible amount of control. Now, I'm just going to click on here, go to the B setting, and what I want to do here is just to kind of go over a little bit of how you can use this section. So one of the things that you can get here, like you can do like and these three are kind of cool here. Let's just go through them. This would be if you were doing this, applying a sort of opto characteristic. So the way that opto compressors like the LA2A, their attack release characteristics, how they would respond. And so you see all the settings jump here. For the most part here, what I was doing in this reset, to the kind of same on both sides, will just kind of allow that. But just to kind of go through the styles here a little bit, just to kind of get a sense for how this affects the sonics of it, and then we'll compare that to what I had set up.
I've been drinking, 'cause I can't afford to love you. I'd be better off all by myself. No need to worry or hurry. I'll be there when I get there. And time has no meaning to me. Lay me down.
So sometimes with these changes, you can see when I went to the Varamue how it increased the gain reduction, and as you're adjusting these characteristics, it will bring out, based on the if we had another program material up here, it may be just the opposite effect, right? So and so the responsiveness here might be if you were just going through different analog compressors in your DAW, just to select one, different types, to see which one work best with a particular song. You might select Opto for this song and Varamue for the next song. And this is kind of the basic idea here. Some will kind of stand out more than others. I really love the warmth that this brings in. So let's just compare that up against what I had set up. Right?
I've been drinking.
Oh no, after all this time in pristine mode. Okay.
Well, I've been thinking, I've been drinking, 'cause I can't afford to love you.
So there are characteristics of the Opto here that I like, although I prefer where I was on that end. But from here, we could then go in and start to tweak parameters and kind of work with it. And there's a whole series of parameters here that give you good defaults. It always starts with a default here, kind of a well-balanced starting place, smoothing, firm, open, energetic, aggressive. So you can kind of work with these basic fundamental characteristics that you might want to bring to whatever it is that you're mastering. And then some other options here. And we haven't even gotten to anything of working with MS and all of the different, characteristics, adapting settings for mid and side information and all of this. This thing is just blows my mind. Every time I call it up, it's like I find some other amazing way to use it. Just the tools in it are just the shaping tools and characteristics are just incredibly powerful. It's kind of like the Weiss um, uh, processor on steroids times 1,000. Because that has a lot of the transfer characteristics with the different transfers from different stages of release and all of that sort of stuff and attack. And this is that times a million. Really super powerful. This is an incredible piece. As soon as I saw this and put it up, I think I have to do a plugin of the week on this. This is just ridiculous. It's so cool. All right, there you have it. Plugin of the week from Tone Projects, Unisum, a must-have. If you do high-end mastering work, this is just incredible.